All right, so I wanted to give you an example of how to find which pair of fractions have the sum of 16 out of 15. So we're going to do this just like we've been doing. We're going to set up a table and find the common denominators for 5 and 3. All right, so to do that, I'm just going to do it over here off to the side. All right, so we're going to count by 3s and 5s to find a common denominator so we can set up equivalent fractions for a common denominator. So we'll start off by counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. All right, now I'm going to count by 3 since our other denominator has a 3. So I'm going to use a 3. All right, so for that, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And I do see that we have a common denominator of 15. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to try to get a common denominator for each set of fractions here. And to do that, we're going to use a factor of 3. When the denominator is 5, we're going to use a factor of 3, and that's because it is the third number. 3 times 5 is 15, so we'll use that factor of 3 for both of these sets. And then for our denominators that have 3, those go down to the fifth number. So we would use a factor of 5 for those. All right, so now we're ready to get common denominators, and then it will be easier for us to tell which pair of fractions have a sum of 16 out of 15. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this. So we're going to take 2 times 3, and we'll get 6. 5 times 3, and we get 15. So there's our common denominator. All right, the next one is 4 times 3 is going to equal 12. 5 times 3 is going to equal 15. So again, common denominator, we wanted our LCD to equal 15. All right, so then we go 2 times 5, which is 10, and 3 times 5, which is 15. So another common denominator of 15. And lastly, 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm going to go ahead and circle my different groups. And I'm looking for 2 fractions that when I add them together, I will get 16 out of 15. So if I add 6 and 12, that's too large. If I add 5 and 10, that's too large. But I do notice that if I add 10, the numerator of 10 and the numerator of 6, I will get 6/15. So when we take 6/15 plus 10/15, we will get 16 out of 15. Now the original fractions is what I'm actually looking for. So that original fraction that's equivalent is the fraction that's going to be in your question. So we would say that 2/5 plus 2/3 does equal 16 out of 15.